5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, Fight fans? How are you doing today on this beautiful Thursday? The podcast number 28 on this August 29th. And like always, folks, we are coming to you by way of Warriors Edge Boxing Gym Promotions. That's right. It's as raw as it gets while kids are training. You hear the boxing bells in the background. And we are talking boxing 101. That's right. It's been a while, folks, but we are back on this Thursday. And like always, guys, you can live stream this show as well on Facebook. We'll get a little bit into that. But today on the show, we got former coach, former LBC chairman, and person that has been in boxing in El Paso and Las Cruces for a very long time. And this individual has worn many hats in the world of boxing. That's why we have him here, folks. We want to interview him. We want to talk to him. We want to pick his brains about boxing. And today on the show will be Mr. JC Fernandez. Welcome to the show, JC.
Hey, good. How you doing? Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. I want to congratulate you for the things that you're doing here with your boxing program, your podcast. It's outstanding. You have some really good, interesting topics. It's very good, and I applaud you for doing this and taking the time.
All right, man. Thanks, JC, man. And we're glad to have you.
Thank you very much.
Glad to have you, my friend. You're a plethora of information for the boxing.
Thank you.
I mean, you sit there with others have sat, and you know what? You're just as great as they are.
Thank you
right?
very much.
Folks, before we get into the live chat, to see Mr. JC live on our webpage, Don't forget to please comment on our live chat as well. And there we can establish any type of dialogue, whatever's on your mind, upcoming fights, amateur or pro, or just simply drop us a hello. We'd love to hear from you. You can also visit us on our website, www.warriorsedgeboxing.com. And also, if you miss any podcast, you can listen on YouTube on the search engine, Web Boxing 101. All the episodes are there recorded. You can record it. You can hear them tomorrow on the way to work, on the weekend at home. I mean, anytime. They're going to be there forever at the YouTube. But also, you can go to our social media page, Web Boxing 101 Podcast, and you can go on our live feed. So just in a moment, we will go live streaming. When we interview Mr. JC Fernandez, we'll do that as well. Tonight's show, we're going to go on the dialogue on the boxing program, on the pro, what's going on in the pro world, but also a little bit on the amateur world, folks. We got some upcoming events this weekend and some mega events coming up as well. But first, before I even go, I want to congratulate Kayla Gomez and Ari Carrasco as they departed to Colorado Springs to the Olympic Training Center. As they're going to train there. What a mega structure to train at the Olympic Center, right, JC?
Oh yeah, especially local talent representing our hometown. That these girls are up and coming, and they got a bright future in boxing as well as whatever they want to do, because it takes a very special person to get up in the ring, and do what they do.
Yeah. So JC's live now. Where everybody's looking at you. JC, hello to everybody.
Hey, hi.
You want to see a shout out to anybody in Anthony, New Mexico?
Just everybody there. Hey, how you doing?
And all your kids that you coach, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're talking about Colorado Springs and how these girls go out of Colorado Springs and train where people like Clarissa Shields have trained, right?
Yes.
And these little girls have been on my show, and that's a big inspiration to them, right?
Yes, of course. They have a lot of work that they put under their belts, and it's just not only them. It's the parents, the support group that they have behind them to motivate them to continue what they're doing, because at their age, they could be going out to the mall and doing other stuff, but they're taking that extra step and competing in a very fruitful sport for them.
Yeah, fruitful. You said it, and right after that they'll be headed to Poland.
Yes.
And they're going to do the tournament up there in Poland. So what an awesome way to represent your city, right? Give back to your community. Las Cruces, New Mexico in the house, and El Paso, Texas.
Yes, of course.
Awesome, man, to see that, and it was great to have them here on the show too. And a big shout out to everybody out there. We wish you the best, guys, the coaches, the parents, and all that, and the girls. We wish you the best, and God bless you in your future endeavors.
And good luck. Yes.
And good luck, of course, right? And we'll talk about recruiting these. How can future talent come into the boxing world? We'll end the show with that. But first, what's making headlines in boxing, folks? We got a big fight weekend on TV, right? If you're going to watch the fights this weekend, we got a big one. And one of my favorite fighters is Lomachenko. Lomachenko versus Campbell this weekend. You can catch that fight on live stream on ESPN Plus and ESPN. Vasily Lomachenko returned to London back at the historic York Hall, right? Roughly 6 years since he fought there as part of the World Series of Boxing. That was a beautiful tournament. I like those tournaments, man.
Yeah, it's really, really impressive the way these athletes are out there. I'm amazed. Yeah,
of course. Shortly thereafter, again, he fought there as part of the World Series of Boxing again, and shortly thereafter, he turned pro, and he's been making history ever since. Yes. Lomachenko is the WBA, WBO light world champion, and will make his long-awaited United Kingdom return Saturday evening against, the hard-hitting, tall-hitting Luke Campbell at the awesome, folks, O2 Arena. He's going to go for his vacant WBC world title at stake as well. The York Hall was packed Wednesday evening to watch Lomachenko participate in the media workout, but also Campbell participated in that media workout. Loma said that, on the challenges that Campbell might present, Luke Campbell is a tall southpaw.
Yes.
And that might give Lomachenko problems. I really doubt it. He's real talented, real boxing IQ. Campbell is a very smart fighter, and that's one of the things you need when you're a fighter, right? Even brains.
Yeah, it's that's why they call it the sweet science. The athletes or pro boxers like Lomachenko's status, he can adapt to a southpaw. I mean, he'll be fine, and he'll adapt to it. The first couple of rounds, of course, it's always a warm-up rounds, a tune-up rounds, or whatever. But he's going to adapt to it, and I'm going to predict Lomachenko all the way.
Wow, and of course, Lomachenko's a little bit faster.
Exactly.
And I think being faster, JC, is that it's going to present problems for the taller. But again, nevertheless, he says that I know that I can look past the fighter, and he's not. He won Olympic gold medal and has a lot of success as a pro.
Well, he's not intimidated. He knows what he's got to do. He knows what he has to do, and he's going to do it.
And you know what? What motivates Lomachenko is that he's always wanted to fight in London, and since he turned pro and he's back, he's going to multiple fans. The fans appreciate him, and you know what? He's out of Ukraine, and he resides over there. But it's close to home. Even though right now he calls home Oxnard, California, where he trains right now. Right?
Yes, sir.
This brings him, because he wants to unify all the belts.
Okay.
This brings him one step closer to the main goal of having all the belts. And let me tell you, man, he's going to have it all the belts. He's very good.
And if anybody can do it, it's going to be him.
I believe it too. Right. For Campbell, it's very important as well. His name is on the line. A lot of people don't know him. He's a UK. He does have the WBC belt, and he also wants to make history, right?
Yeah, of course. It's a great opportunity for him to come out ahead of this on this fight. There's a lot at stake for him too.
Yeah, it's a lot at stake for Campbell. And if you saw the weigh-ins, guys, Luke Campbell was very, very tall, man. The weigh-ins, the media workouts. I'm sorry, Luke Campbell said that he's feeling it. It's a fantastic opportunity for him, of course. I've got the best team around me, and we're all confident. It doesn't matter how I do it, I get the win.
Yes, sir.
Right, and I guess the most important thing is having the team behind him when you fight at these lights, right? And then ESPN's going to broadcast it, folks. It's going to be Saturday from the O2 Center Arena in London. It's going to be a good UK fight. I like these UK fighters. It's going to be an overall good fight. Glad to see Lomachenko again. Just again, a multitude of talent, speed, and all that confidence and motivation for Lomachenko to unify the entire belts and maybe in the future go after American Earl Spence, Mikey Garcia. Wow, who knows, man? It's the sky's the limit for Lomachenko. I really want to see this individual succeed. Good luck to Campbell as well. But folks, catch it on ESPN3. Big Saturday night fights. Loma is in the house.
Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. Also
on Fox that same night, folks. I wanted to talk about this fight because there's been a lot of bad blood between these two fighters. One of the fighters he says he got robbed by his brother. So what I'm talking about is Elislandy Lara. He fought Canelo Alvarez. He thought he won the fight, but he gave it to Canelo. Now Lara is going to fight his brother, Alvarez, and it's going to be Ramon Alvarez, right? He's going to fight him on Fox. Remember, Lara is the former world champion. It's going to be on PBC. There's history between Lara and Alvarez, as Lara lost a close and controversial decision over Canelo Alvarez in 2014. Lara said he's going to be honest with him, as he said facing him. They were facing each other on that face-off. He goes, I worked very hard at the camp, and I'm going to knock you out. He told him right in front of his face. He has that motivation because he thinks he beat his brother. Right, I'm coming to knock you out, and we're going to work hard for that. To win this fight is to turn the page in my history. If the opportunity comes to fight with your brother again, we'll fight again.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Ramon Alvarez fought, but you know what? They're just different.
They're different. They might have the same name, but they're different animals completely. And I think Alvarez is going to have a hard time with this fight.
I think so too. What's plagued Elislandy Lara is he's a boring fighter. He's not a fan favorite fighter. He's real technical. Good fighter. I just said he was boring. I didn't say he was not.
He could be a little predictable. The same,
Yeah, he's real methodical.
Exactly.
So, it'd be good. I brought it up. On the other hand, Ramon Alvarez said he will not be facing my brother. Nor do I think he'll face him. He'll face him again. He should focus now on what's coming. All right. I will work to make things very clear to Lara that I'm not my brother, and that this fight will not be the same. This fight has nothing to do with controversies. I think I have a different style to show, and I'm going to show it that night. One thing that Alvarez does have is that he comes out fighting. Mm-hmm. He's a very strong fighter, right?
Yes.
On the same lines as the Alvarez family, did you see the Sergey Kovalev fight?
No, I missed that one.
Sergey Kovalev, it was a hard punching fight, and he floored Yard, and he beat Yard, right? It was an 11th round KO. It's last Saturday, and he's the WBO light heavyweight champ. And he says he wants Canelo. Canelo will have to move in weight for a light heavyweight showdown. Do you think that weight is too heavy for Canelo? Sergey Kovalev is big, but he's old.
I think it is because, it's a totally different game plan. And you're facing a stronger person at that weight, and he's going to have to really bring it up a notch to be able to overcome that.
Wow, yeah, it's a big weight for Canelo.
Exactly.
Big weight for Canelo. Kovalev would have a tough time with Canelo, though. I think he will have a tough time.
Yeah, it could go both ways. They're both.
He has a chance to beat him.
They're both strong.
They're real strong.
They're both strong, but it's. The weight's different. It's a big difference.
I know, and Kovalev has vast experience, and he's a big puncher.
And you got to remember that the day of the weigh-in, you've got to wait, but the day of the fight, you're looking at an extra more weight on there,
Yeah, you're right.
Coming on the ring.
And you know what? Alvarez is a much smaller fighter,
exactly.
But he is a hellacious.
Yeah, he's got a heavy
body
punch.
puncher.
Yeah, exactly. Those body shots are, they do their work.
Which is something that Kovalev in the past has had a hard time doing that, right? Remember, he got knocked. Andre Ward knocked him down. Mm-hmm. Andre Ward is a strong puncher.
Exactly.
Just imagine Alvarez bringing his ribs and liver with his Hall of Fame worthy left hook.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be
if it happens.
If it happens,
it hasn't happened yet.
Exactly.
Let's see what De La Hoya says.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see this 16 de Septiembre weekend. I wanted to see Alvarez fight. And it's not going to happen.
That's right. Yeah, it's not.
There's a lot of controversy, a lot of rumors talk that there was issues between De La Hoya and Alvarez. Who knows what happens behind the scenes? A lot of things happen behind the scenes.
Yeah, we don't know about it until we just hope for the good fights out there, and it's a tradition to have something on the 16th of September.
And we will going to have. We're going to have Jaime Munguia.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're going to have. Ryan Garcia.
Exactly, yeah.
Good fight, man. They're going to both fight to respect the fighters. But Jaime Munguia, who would have thought he's going to be the main event? I don't know. Should have been Alvarez.
Well, everybody anticipates the big name like that, for those type of high-profile fights on the 16th and Cinco de Mayo fights and all those.
Yeah, the Mexican
Independence Day. Tradition. Yeah, exactly.
Let a Mexican fighter have them, and we're gonna see. I'm excited to see Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't get to his head.
No, I hope not.
Right.
It happens.
Does it happen to fighters, JC?
I've seen it. I've seen it with some people that it goes to their head and it affects them, and then you get other people trying to get into their promotional issues, and it affects them too. I think.
So folks. That's the big weekend, but let me just, like you said about it, get to their head. The heavyweight division. Speaking of getting to the head, I've seen in the social media, social media is great. It's the cheese man, right?
Yeah.
Andre Reese buying limos or buying Bentleys and buying homes. And do you think that takes a lot from the seriousness of the training or no?
Well, I think if he's got his head on right, and his training, and he's got the support of his trainers there, it could affect him if it lets it get to him. He has probably maybe never had that kind of money before, and he's splurging, and he's entitled.
Well deserved. He's entitled.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Of course, he won. Who would have thought? It's surprising.
Did you think he was going to win?
I know, honestly, I didn't
Why
think
not?
so. I don't know. It's just, I guess the image. I don't know. I thought, it was going to go the other way. It surprised me. I'm glad it went that way.
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody, I'm glad. I was elated, but
I can't honestly say that I knew that Joshua was going to win because I've never really seen Joshua.
No, but I never expected.
I guess we were going because we saw
exactly
the body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what
Jesus
everybody
Christ,
what the heck happened here?
We were going for reasons.
But you know what? I work with heavyweights that they're heavy. And man, they got speed, they got power, they got endurance.
Everything Reese
Yeah,
had.
Exactly, and they're deceiving, and that's what the opponent sees, But when a 200+ pound hits you like that, it makes a difference.
So the rematch is coming up.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's going to be at the Duel in the Desert in Saudi Arabia.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard about
that.
Right.
I think it's almost. I think it's official. I don't know, but that's going to be interesting over there. I think Reese should have kept it home.
Yeah, I
and fought
think
here.
so. Yeah, me too. I think he should have, kept it
He
here.
is the
but-
champion.
Yeah,
Should've
exactly. He should have
fought
said
in Las
I'll fight,
Vegas
yeah.
or Texas
Any-
Stadium.
El Paso.
El Paso at the Sumbo. He would have had a big following, man.
Oh, heck yeah, man.
You know,
we
a lot of
have a lot of
Hispanics.
support here.
A lot of
we've got a
support,
border town
yeah,
and
of course.
New Mexico. El Paso,
Mexico,
Juarez.
of course. Speaking of staying on the heavyweight, I'm very excited for the heavyweight division now. It's
Yeah.
like my number one.
Yeah, it's always been interesting. It's
I mean,
always
there's some good names there.
Yeah,
There was a
exactly.
while there
it
wasn't.
was kind of stagnant.
After Lennox Lewis
Exactly,
left
yeah.
and all that, it hasn't been that. And then Chris Ariola tried to bring it back, but it hasn't
With
been
this-
as excited.
Yeah, exactly. And with Reese, he brought it up again. He brought it up a notch.
Yeah, and here we go. Look, Deontay Wilder,
Yeah,
number
exactly.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's ranked under the ESPN rankings, divisional rankings, folks. On the heavyweight, it's Deontay Wilder, which, of course, to be announced, he will fight Luis Ortiz again.
Yeah.
And he'll beat him now. Luis Ortiz almost beat him. That
Yeah.
was a good fight. And then you have Tyson Fury, which will fight September the 14th, this is September weekend, on his own card against Otto Wallin. And I don't know who Otto Wallin is at.
No.
Or who is he? And then you have Andy Ruiz Jr., the top three. And December 7th against Anthony Joshua.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, of course, Joshua number 4. And then you have a pretty exciting fighter by the name of Kubrat Pulev. And he is from Ukraine, 27-1 heavyweight. And he's top 10, and he's pretty good. Dylan White is number 5. Another, I think he's a UK individual. But that rounds out that heavyweight division. Luis Ortiz at a 6. And then, of course, Joseph Parker. And then Adam Kaunaki. You know who that guy is? He just fought Chris Ariola and won a unanimous decision.
Yeah, that's right.
June
It was
29th.
like a couple of weeks
I'm
ago.
sorry, it was August 3rd.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he beat Chris Ariola,
Yeah.
and he was a strong puncher. That was the most heavyweight fight. That heavyweight fight, I think, broke records, and 2 heavyweight fighters throwing as many punches as he did. I don't know the numbers on it, but that broke records. That was a good fight. It was
Yeah,
it was
a good
very
fight.
exciting.
It was a good fight. I mean, I met Chris Ariola when he fought here in El Paso, and he's a very nice person. He's a very good, humble
Very
athlete.
personable fighter.
Yeah, he's a very humble
I
athlete.
met him out here too, and he took everybody's. He signed autographs for everybody.
Yeah.
Chris Ariola just said he was going to retire. If he lost, he lost. Then after the fight, he said that maybe not. So we'll
You never know. I
We'll
mean,
never know.
one can say something in the ring after the fight, and then come back again. You know what? He can do it.
Of course. Heavyweight, let's talk a little about the light heavyweights on the divisional rankings for the light heavyweights. And folks, this is up to 175. This is where Canelo might be coming up to, right? You have Oleksandr Kazatsky, and this is the guy that's been in the news a lot. He's 17-0 at the light heavyweight. Vicious Ukrainian puncher. He's going to be fighting October 18 against Arthur Beterbiev, and I'm sorry if I don't pronounce these, but he's number 1. Then you have Sergey Kovalov number 2, and then Dmitry Bivol. Bivol is a very good fighter. He reminds me of Jaime Munguia. Very vicious, aggressive fighter, and remember that name, Dmitry Bivol. He's number 3 in the light heavyweight, up to 175 pounds. Badu Jack, and then Jesse Hart. The one that is notable in that light heavyweight is Gilberto Ramirez from Mexico. He's a very good fighter. He's 40-0.
Yeah, that's a good record.
Very good record.
And then a lot of these European fighters, they're really strong. I don't know what they feed them over there, but they're very strong.
Very big boys.
They're big boys, exactly.
But I think in that top 10, I like Gilberto Ramirez.
Yeah.
He's a very good fighter. In that, also in the light heavyweight, folks, we have also at the Caleb Smith. Mm-hmm. He's a little bit under that. He's the one that wanted to fight Canelo Alvarez, and he fought on the undercard of the of the Reese Joshua fight. Did you see that guy, Caleb Smith? Very tall. He's the brother of the other Smith that Canelo beat in Cowboy Stadium. He wants to fight him. He has the belts too.
He can do it too.
And he can do it. And of course, that's the fight we should have seen. 16 September.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, we're not seeing that fight. Also, rounding out that top 10 at number 7 is Billy Joe Saunders. Mm-hmm. That's another guy. I know he was tested for sports enhancing drugs. Some of that he got suspended. He came back. He's also there. He wants to fight also either Triple G or Canelo Alvarez. In the middleweight divisions, folks, we got number 1 Canelo Alvarez.
Yeah.
And of course, his next fight will be November the 2nd, folks. That's where we're going to see him again. November the 2nd. Again, opponent to be announced. So we'll see if he rounds out anybody, right?
Yeah, let's see who he gets to fight that day.
Gennady Golovkin will fight October 5th.
He's coming up, yes.
Yeah, he's coming up against, it's still to be announced. Jamal Charlo.
Charlo, yeah.
The Charlo brothers. Demetrius Andrade.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't look too good on his last fight. He fought Maseke Saluki. That was June 29th. And he won a unanimous decision. And that was his time to show off his skills, and he didn't. He showboated a lot.
Yeah.
Daniel Jacobs, and then, of course, rounding off that, Rob Brandt. And do we have the junior middleweight as well? Jared Hurd, Jaime Mugia, top 3. Tony Harrison, Liam Smith. And then we have the welterweights. This is a big one, too.
Yeah, it is.
Real quick on the welterweights. Earl Spence. What do you think of Earl Spence?
He's very, very talented. He's a force to be reckoned with.
You think he can beat Sean Porter September 28th?
It's gonna be. It could go either way, but
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I don't think he'll go either way, Jason. I think he'll beat him convincingly.
Yeah. I mean,
Earl Spence is awesome. Texas kid, man.
He's got a good talent, man. He's a good talent there.
And I hope if he wins, he fights Terrence Crawford.
Yes, that's going to be a good show.
He's top 3 on that list.
Yeah, exactly.
Keith Thurman, number 4. Sean Porter, Danny Garcia.
Danny Garcia, yeah, that's going to be.
You think Austin Trout can move weight and fight Danny Garcia? That's what I heard.
I haven't heard on that one, but it'll be a good fight if it does happen.
Right?
Yeah.
Austin Trout and Danny Garcia. Maybe he moves up. Then we got the lightweights, guys. The lightweight division, and that's 135 pounds. Vasily Lomachenko.
There it is.
And he'll be fighting this weekend. And then you have number 2. Guess who it is? Mikey Garcia.
Mikey Garcia.
You know, we brought Mikey Garcia last year.
Yeah, I think so. I remember that.
We brought him at the Clash of the Titans. Very nice guy. Personable individual. Humble as can be, man. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
We didn't have to deal with his agent. He was cool, man. Real nice guy, man.
Yeah, when you get down to the person, they're really pleasant. They're really down to earth. Of course, we understand it's a sport. Their agents are there to look for their best interests.
Of course,
but once you meet the person, you like God.
You also got in that top 10. You got Robert Easter, which is pretty good. Comey, which is going to fight. The one that's making ruckus on this 135-pound division is Teofimo Lopez.
Lopez, yeah.
Yeah, he's going to fight. They're going to fight. They're fighting. They're fighting coming up. It's Comey against Lopez. I don't have the date yet, but he's the one that's making waves on this list. And Lopez didn't look too impressive. The last time Lopez fought, he fought Nakatani. That was July 19th, and he won a unanimous decision. But we were looking for the knockout. But he really didn't have it.
No, he won, yeah.
But it wasn't that impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? On the junior lightweight division, we have a Mexican in the number 1, and this is up to 130 pounds. And we have Michael Burchett, which he beat Francisco Vargas May 11th. That was a good fight.
Yeah.
Burchett is a very good. We have Tevin Farmer, and then we got number 3, Gervonta Tank Davis. The one that the Mayweather has. He has a record of 22-0. He's a pretty good fighter. What do you think of Gervonta Davis? He's a very good fighter.
Very good, very talented, very strong.
And then, on that top 10 on the ESPN rankings, number 8, we have a hometown kid, Mikey Roman.
Mikey Roman, yes.
Miguel Roman. And again, he fought Ramiro Blanco, and he won a unanimous decision March 23rd. But I'm hearing he has an upcoming fight, right?
I believe so, but I'm not really clear on all the details, where it's going to be or who's going to be fighting.
Hope it's here, man.
That would be nice. Last time he fought, he put up a good fight.
Very good show.
Yeah, exactly, here in El Paso.
Then after the 130 pounds, we go down to 126, and that's the awesome, exciting featherweight division. And number 1 is one of my favorite fighters, Leo Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, yeah.
Yeah, he fought Rafael Rivera February. He hasn't fought since February, so it'll be interesting to see him fight. 36-1, 1 draw. And then it's, again, big time list right here. We got Abner Mares on that list, Gary Russell Jr., Josh Warrington, the UK individual. Warrington is going to fight October 12th. Abner Mares, like I said, and then you got Shakur Stevenson, also making a lot of headlines. He just fought July 13th against Alberto Guevara. He's about to fight Joet Gonzalez. Shakur Stevenson has said that he wants to get up there. Leo Santa Cruz, very good fighter. He's been inactive almost all year. We're almost getting to fall. we're here. We're due to see him now.
Yeah, it's about time. And you know what? You have a lot of talent with the smaller guys. You know, it's a lot of really good shows there.
Yeah, of course, man. So that rounds out the big cards, guys. One notable division that I like is the junior bantamweight at 115. You got number 1 Juan Francisco Estrada. Shows a lot of promising. He just beat Beeman last week, and it was a very good fight. But he dominated him. TKO in the 9th round.
Yeah,
that was a good fight. Did you see the fights last week?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Francisco Estrada. He's 40-3.
Yeah, he's got a good record.
Very good record. So that's a bantamweight. That's another exciting division as well. And then of course, that's the ESPN rankings, folks. Very good divisions, man.
It's a lot of upcoming good fights coming up. You know?
Yeah, a lot of upcoming good fights. Like I said, we have a stacked fights this weekend. Speaking of stacked fights this weekend, guys, we do have also an amateur fight this weekend. We have the El Paso Strong Boxing Show. Again, this is going to be, the first fight starts at 2 p.m., first bell, and it's going to be at 2011 Myrtle Avenue at the Apollo Boxing Club. For more information on that, contact 432-294-2645, Mr. Jose Guerrero. He's doing the matches. This is going to be this weekend. I know I got some of my kids on that card. So, JC, it's exciting. Boxing is good right now. It's coming up, but that's pro.
Exactly.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what do you do now?
Well, I'm originally from El Paso. I went to Riverside High School.
Wow, go Rangers, huh?
Yes, sir. And, through my career, I ended up in Anthony, New Mexico. I started working up there at the federal prison, La Tuna. And
Thanks for your service.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. And I worked there. I retired in 2010. During my tenure there at La Tuna, I got involved with boxing. I opened up my boxing gym up there in Anthony. And believe it or not, we started a boxing gym in a park where we would have an Everlast 40-pound bag by a tree branch.
Wow.
And I had like 40 kids trying to hit the bag. So I said, hey, we could get something. And one thing led to another.
And that's really where it all begins.
Yeah, exactly. It all began
backyard.
at the park. At the
park, at the tree.
Exactly.
You don't need these fancy facilities.
No, and it started at a park, and we got a lot of kids, and I was blessed. I wrote a grant to the New Mexico State Legislature.
Wow.
And we were awarded, the Anthony Boxing Club was awarded a $150,000 grant for purchase of a boxing equipment, and we got it.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It developed into a PAL boxing program, Police Athletic League.
And we don't have one here in El Paso.
No, we don't. And we had one in Anthony.
So let me ask you a question. How did you get started in boxing? You just like it? Did you box when you were young?
I started doing martial arts, judo, and freeform combat.
In Riverside, at the high school years?
At the high school.
Okay.
All through my youth, and then during my career, because being in law enforcement, you have to stay in shape. You gotta look out for yourself, and so I still kept it up. And then I said, I don't even remember why I wanted to do the boxing. I just wanted to do something for the community, and what better way to do it, as you know, through boxing. You give to the community, you work with these kids, and you see them grow up, and believe it or not, we become what do you call it, idols, or not idols, but somebody to look up to.
Yeah,
the kids look up to you.
Of course, you're a mentor to them.
You're a mentor to these kids,
And so many kids need guidance.
Exactly. I know a lot of trainers that are doing, they dedicate their time after work, and there's some here right now. Herman, I know him a long time, and he's doing a great job with the kids. And a lot of trainers that I know that are doing the same thing, and it's dedication, the love for the sport, and the love for the community and the kids.
Wow. So then you get started. You were still in the contacts board. You start working for the Bureau of Prisons, and you started a boxing program out of your backyard.
No, at a park.
At a park. And you would hang the bags, and kids would just come out and hit the bags.
Yeah, and I started working with them. I had cheap gloves that I went and got some, and we got recognition. We got people started coming together. Hey man, let's make it bigger, and then we said, well, we don't have a place. So then the school district, let's say, hey, use a cafeteria. So they let us go in the cafeteria at Loma Linda Elementary, and we would hang the heavy bags by the basketball frames, the backboards, and 2 bags out there, and we were surprised. The first day we had 100 kids
Wow.
out there from Anthony, Texas, Anthony, New Mexico, Canutillo. It just spread.
There's no gyms out there.
Yeah, there's nothing out there. I mean, there's nothing out there.
You know that when we started my podcast, I've always said that how come we don't have boxing in high school as a high school sport? Why do you think that's not the case, and do you think it's a good idea? So, but before you answer, how long have you been in boxing? How many years have you been involved in boxing? Give me a year.
2000.
So 20 years, 31. Is it?
About 10, 12 years.
You've been involved in boxing for 12 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay. God, a lot of people know you, man. So what do you think, man, that you think boxing can be in high school?
Yes. As a matter of fact, yes. Let me tell you why. Because of that grant program that I put in.
Okay.
I started a boxing program at the high school in Gaston. They built a gym according to my specifications.
At Gaston High School?
Yeah, not a Gaston, but an academy, like for at-risk kids. There's a program there. But unfortunately, it's not open to the community because it's good, but I think the school districts are afraid of the liability. And there's a misconception that boxing sets off.
Damn, what about football?
Exactly. But they don't, and I've always pitched that amateur boxing in the early stages is like 30 seconds of the safest sports in the country, and the top 5 is at risk is football, basketball, soccer, cheerleading. Exactly.
I think I had read somewhere that cheerleading is very dangerous.
Brain trauma, knee injuries, and the most you'll get out of boxing is a bloody nose. I mean, really. I mean, unless you sprain your, it happens. You sprain your ankle.
So have you tried to put it in New Mexico?
Well, I did my own boxing in New Mexico.
Yeah, but what about the high schools?
Well, I implemented that.
And they said no.
Well, no, they have the equipment. Do you know that equipment that I got? It's there, but it's just stagnant.
But it's Gaxton High School, right?
Yeah, it's a good.
So you think the other high schools will come on board, like Canutillo, Bel Air?
I think they should because
I've always wanted to do that.
It's a good because they don't realize that the amateur part of it can get sanctioned through USA Boxing, which promotes Olympics, Junior Olympics, and make it a competitive sport at the high school level.
And you know what? It's as simple as that there's high schools in El Paso, maybe in New Mexico, that have a hockey team.
Yeah, there's hockey.
Why not boxing?
Yeah, when I was growing up, you wouldn't even have soccer.
And now it's everywhere. But I think that it's about the liability. Oh, it's fighting and all that.
And you get a lot of negativity. Well, you're just teaching the kids to box or to fight, and it's not that.
But they don't look at it as the sport.
The sport, because we would always get from the parents say, hey, well, you're just teaching these kids to fight, and the first thing they would do if the kids, it's nature, human nature in high school. If there's a boxer, they're going to pick on him. And there's going to come a point where he's going to have to defend himself, and then they tell you, hey, coach, one of your kids got into a fight. That's how you teach them how to fight. So that's the nature.
Yeah, you're right. And you know what? Why not boxing, right? And I've always pitched that idea that, they should have at least get a pilot program at 4 high schools.
Yeah, it can work. It's just that they have to take the initiative and research it, of course. It's covered under their insurance through
and then all the kids are legitimately through USA Boxing.
Exactly, and then their insurance that they have at the school district for their insurance, it's covered. It's like a football player; it covers them.
Wow. And when we mentioned USA Boxing, folks, you know that the mission statement for USA Boxing is to promote and grow Olympic-style amateur boxing in the United States.
Yes.
But most importantly, is to inspire the tireless pursuit of Olympic gold, and it enables athletes like your kids and coaches to achieve sustained competitive excellence. Right? Endeavors to teach all participants character, confidence, and focus.
Yes.
He can make them even better students.
Yes, of course.
Right? Did you guys know interesting facts that in 1904, boxing becomes an Olympic sport? Wow. And then in 2012, women are allowed to box in the Olympics. And let me tell you something, JC. When you watch women compete in boxing, is more exciting than the men.
I always have this thing, and I always tell my female athletes, women make the best fighters, in my eye, because they have, I don't know, I guess they have to prove something, that it's a majority male sport kind of deal, and and they prove that they can be just as good, if not better. Some of these, my girls that I trained, they used to spar with the boys.
Wow, yeah,
Of course. And, they guess they get used to it, and they worked out better. I mean, I've had a girl that was second runner-up to the women's nationals here in El Paso.
There's a lot of talent in the pros.
There's a lot of talent. Things happen. They grow up. They get boyfriends, and they move on. Of course.
Of course. And guys, if you want to become a member, visit the USA Boxing website, www.usaboxing.org. Clicking join, register new members. Members can renew there as well. The system will assign a local boxing committee. Support your local boxing commission, guys, or committee. Is it commission or committee? Committee. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And that's a campaign that I have done through my social media, and I put it out there, and I support local boxing. Visit your local boxing gyms. Right. The membership is only, I think the average price is $65 for boxers and $90 for coaches.
Yes.
Support, and going back to the high school, JC. I really believe it'll work, man. I mean, football is as violent and dangerous as any sport, but it's out there, man.
I mean, what I experienced is that the program I implemented, it wasn't even recognized by the school because they didn't think it's not going to last or whatever, but it did. I mean, I had a good turnout. I turned out some of those kids that were at the school are coming to my house.
Wow. Well,
they're following me and they're bringing their kids.
I hope in the future high school can have that. Man.
Exactly. Yes.
So we understand that you were part of the local boxing committee.
Yeah, about maybe 8 years ago. I was approximately.
And what capacity?
I was the vice president of the Border Boxing Association here in El Paso.
Wow. And what is? Can you tell me some of your accomplishments?
Well, of course, I served as a vice president of the board of the LBC, and we promoted, like the pamphlet said, amateur boxing. We sanctioned a lot of amateur fights at that time. We changed some policies in the bylaws that I can remember, and it motivated the kids to participate and the clubs to become more active in holding events for these kids, because these kids are not going to grow athletically or in the sport if they don't have tournaments. I think that's very vital to the sport.
And that's one thing that's hindered our not just the tournaments, Jace. I think it's what's hindered.
The shows, yeah.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But I think, in my opinion, not just the tournaments. We got to recruit kids, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
We don't recruit enough.
And
I think as a business guy, I recruit for my business, for my gym. But it's recruiting for everybody, man. Hey, kid, where are you from? You live on the west side? Hey, I know JC on the west side. Why don't you call him? But that doesn't happen as much.
No, it used to, where I would get calls from coaches, say, I got a kid from
of course.
that lives up there. I'm going to send him to you.
Yeah.
It's just a mutual respect.
And let me tell you something, folks listening out there, all my boxing fans, friends, and my social media, spread the word, man. Have them support local boxing commission. The more members we have under our LBC, the better it is for everybody. I think everybody's got to put their part, man. I know we always say that there's not enough tournaments. Why isn't this? Why isn't that? There's a venue that. But you know what? I think we all got to put a part of our part.
Exactly, and you know what? It's a good sport. It's a very healthy sport. I mean, you'd rather have these kids in the gym hitting the bag than walking around doing nothing and just playing on their phones. It's very important. That's exactly.
Yeah. So how many years did you serve under the?
About 4 years.
And why did you leave?
I just decided it was best time to move. It didn't go the way I wanted to.
Okay.
So for personal reason.
Of course. So you left the LBC. Are you still involved in boxing today?
Yes, I still own my own boxing gym. Like I said, I still have my boxing gym in my backyard, and I have like 10 kids that come out and hit the bag and work out and train, kids as well as adults. So we're still very active in that part. I'm still part of the. I'm also work with when they call me with a Texas Department of License and Regulation.
Wow! So you're also a pro timekeeper, right?
Exactly. I'm a professional timekeeper for the Boxing Commission here when they have fights in El Paso. So we've had some pretty good fights in the past. So let's hope we continue to do that. It's been kind of slow for this area right now with the pros.
Wow!
In El Paso.
That's awesome, man. All right, folks. We're gonna take a 2-minute break.
That's fine.
We'll be back. We'll continue with JC Fernandez and the podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Five, 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 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
With the JC Fernandez back on the podcast 101. So we're talking about JC Fernandez, how he brought boxing back to New Mexico. He's from Anthony, New Mexico, correct?
Yes, sir.
And we were talking about that he's also a professional timekeeper. That's pretty cool, right? And then he was part of the local boxing committee, and then he left for personal reasons and things didn't go his way. So today, what do you think our LBC needs today? Or how do you compare the LBC back then as today?
Well, back then when I was involved, we had a lot of fights. I mean, a lot of shows for the kids to promote, to get them back active.
Why do we have a lot of fights?
I mean, we had a lot of sanctioned events, exactly. So we tried to encourage the teams to to promote their teams and host a boxing event. And I mean, they used to happen at Carolina Rec Center all the time, and even a couple of the bars got involved with that, and it was a lot of activity back then.
There was a lot of activity. Real quick, Victor Pasilla says, "What's up, Coach? Much love."
Hey, Victor. He was one of my.
He's looking at you right now.
Yeah, he's one of my my best fighters there, man. Hey, Victor, how you doing?
He's one of your best.
El Osito. Yeah.
Was? He doesn't fight no more?
No, he hasn't gone. I need to get him in the gym. You need to go down there.
You heard that, Victor? You need to get back in the gym. All right, and that's what you're talking about, man. The people that follow you, man. That's a lot of, that's what makes it all worthwhile.
As a matter of fact, he promised me he was going to bring me his kids. I'm still waiting.
He's waiting, Victor.
He's got 5 boys, so.
So there was a lot of activity back then, right?
Yes, uh-huh.
So you're comparing as there was more activity back then, but why do you think there's not as much activity now? Are you talking in Mexico and Texas? Or
no,
just Texas?
Mostly Texas. I think I would like to see more events here in Texas.
So why do you think there's not?
I'm not sure. I don't have all my facts straight as far as the events per month. You might lead me on that or give me some guidance on that. But I think we need to promote as the LBC needs to promote. I think it's their obligation to promote the amateur boxing and take some of these kids out of town. They need some of that exposure.
I mean, we've had a lot of kids in. I think the Milwaukee, the Eastern qualifier was also good. There was some good kids out there, and you can see. I think we are doing the tournaments out of town. Mm-hmm. I think they need more exposure.
Yes.
Since the kids have came back, we've had no exposure, no news, no nothing. I think what the LBC needs, JC, is a marketing guy, a promoting guy to promote them.
Exactly, because, I mean, I remember back then is when we would put on a show, the media would come out and take pictures. They would put it on the paper, and we need that exposure. I think we need to get the word out to the community that there's fights here and in the rec centers. It's a city sponsored program. The recreation center, the boxing, they have boxing gyms, and I don't see why they don't promote it some more. I'd like to see that come out more.
I think the city has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Our city just sucks. I said it. I don't care.
Yeah,
it does. Our city sucks in promoting our boxing events.
And the ones that are hurt.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And the ones that are hurting are the kids.
Of course,
the athletes.
I mean, you have city venues that have boxing programs, and they don't even freaking support the boxing.
No,
at all. There used to be tournaments in Carolina Center.
All the
Why
time.
don't they have them now?
All the time.
Of course not. They don't have them.
They don't have them.
Of course.
They have the ring. All they have to do is open.
They have everything there.
They have slide the ring out to
and
the
I don't think
floor.
it has nothing to do with the coaches. It's just the city.
Could be, yeah.
We just the city sucks.
Yeah,
in supporting boxing.
Like I said, I haven't been involved with the LBC here, so things have changed, I'm sure, but we need to get that back up.
Once the city gets involved in supporting something like that, then our deep pockets people that live in El Paso, then they'll start investing money in us and stop investing money somewhere else.
Well, that's where I strongly feel that some of these corporations, businesses, companies can sponsor.
We have deep pockets here.
They can sponsor the LBC and these boxing clubs so they can promote these kids to go out there. I mean, look, if you go to Houston, you go to Dallas, East Texas, every weekend they have fights.
Every weekend.
And every year, from my understanding, every year they put up a bid for what days of the month they're going to do a tournament, because there might be 2 or 3 shows in one city at one time. Yeah. That's how big it is. And here, when you take our kids over there, they're outdone because we have a lot of talent, not to take away from our kids. But these kids, you go up with a kid that's got 100+ fights, and over here, you may not, it's an open class. 10 fights. And see, the difference is not
we've
fair.
Been out of town and we've seen that.
Yeah, and
it's nothing taken away from our kids.
No, exactly.
But that's what it is.
That's what it is, because they don't have that exposure, that activity that I'd like to see,
And you know what? We said then when we get a venue, I mean, it's hellacious. I like that word now. It's crazy prices, man. The venue, they just charge too much, and we can't afford it.
Yeah, I think the sanction fee is like $300 maybe.
Well, what I'm saying is the charge is to rent, like, say we wanted to have it at the convention center. They want to charge an arm and a leg. Yeah, it
takes the feet off of the boxing.
Of course, because we have a real small LBC. Not even, I mean, a lot. And again, I've always said it. They do good work. It's volunteer. But I mean, we're bashing the city here. Well, I am. Mm-hmm. Oh well.
Yeah.
But I mean, also the part of the local boxing committee.
Yeah, they have to be more proactive, I think.
More proactive, more marketing, more promoting, and more pushing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, sometimes I know it's discouraging, but promoting it, right?
Yeah, they need to push it. They need to push it more, be more aggressive. and promote and say, hey, look, this is a city-run program. Let's work with us. And
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, I remember these city rec centers have boxing programs, but they don't promote it. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
I don't even know how that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, exactly.
God damn.
Yeah, we just need to get it out, to get the word out, and talk to your representatives and do something.
Of course, and check this out. I mean, they have basketball programs, and there's basketball tournaments all the time.
Every
goddamn, and they're all full
all the
of
time. Yeah,
and that's awesome.
Yeah.
But what about boxing? Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
They used to have tournaments in Carolina, so that's why I started.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course. So you say the resources is marketing, getting with our representatives, getting it out there.
Just working. Be more aggressive and pushing the word out and working the LBC and promoting the youth amateur boxing program.
Elections are coming up, JC,
Yes,
for
sir.
our local boxing committee. I think they're in the end of November.
Yes, sir.
Why don't you run again in any capacity?
You know what? I'd like to, but my hands are so full right now with my schedule and my work and my boxing program at home. It's very hard. It's very demanding. I mean, it's very demanding. And if I could get a good group behind me, like a board of executive board, yeah, I would consider it. But we need to be in the same page. We can't be bickering. You can't be bickering because it's happened before.
Of course,
That's where the internal disagreements happen. And guess who pays for it? The kids.
Well, I mean, I've always expressed interest in me running a program.
Exactly.
So who knows, man? I mean, I wouldn't mind running something. And I know just with you saying that you don't want to, it's not to mean that you don't want to get involved. You have your hands full. But I believe as a boxing coach, and you've been in the committee before, you will support it 100%.
Yeah, I support the LBC, of course. But if it comes, I would think about it, of course, definitely, and I would try to say, hey, look, well, who's running with me or whatever, and we got to take, because my mission statement might be different what they have. You know what I'm saying?
The goal statements are different in every people's mind. What are you? So, I guess I'm going to ask you this again. What are your future plans in boxing? But you're going to run your gym. You're going to build it up again, correct?
Yeah, it's
in New Mexico, right?
In New Mexico, it's not in New Mexico, but I get kids from Canutillo, West El Paso, surrounding areas, Chaparral, Berino, and all the little areas. I get a lot of kids from there, and it's pretty keeps me busy.
And in those, and along those lines, tell us what is your current project? What are you matchmaking for, and what is to be talked about and be excited about?
Oh, okay. In Vado, New Mexico, there's a new speedway, race car speedway. I don't know, for people that don't know about it. It's a very brand new facility.
Beautiful, too.
On October the 5th and the 6th, we're going to have Southwest fights, Southwest Explosion. Miss Teresa Tapia, Johnny Tapia's former widow, is promoting the fights. It's going to be on October the 5th. Amateur fights are going to be on Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 6. And it's also going to be a pro event at 6 p.m. There is some upcoming pro fights, and the names to be determined at a later date. And it's very exciting because we're getting teams. I'm the matchmaker for the amateur side, and there's some other people working on the pro side.
Okay,
as well.
JC, if you're matchmaking, where can they contact you?
They can contact me at 915-253-8558. 915-253-8558.
And you mentioned it's a beautiful facility, man.
It's beautiful. It's nice. It's going to be out in the open, so hopefully October gives us good weather, not too hot. I think it'll be good. We're getting teams from out of town: Farmington, New Mexico, Las Cruces, West Texas, Lubbock, Odessa, Midland, and El Paso. And this is a great opportunity for El Paso and New Mexico and Anthony and Las Cruces to showcase their local talent, because they're going to be competing on the amateur side with teams from out of town. Good,
great, man, and thank you for that, Ms. Tapia. We will have her on the show next week. I'm excited to have Teresa Tapia on the show. Talk more about the show. She's the promoter.
Yes, exactly.
And I will hopefully have a booth there. I'm thinking of having a booth there. We'll have the Web Boxing Podcast Show team will be out there. We also sponsor a race car out there, number 21, Brandon Shore. Racing to Victory. We'll have it on display there so you can see the awesome sprint car. So it's going to be a great weekend, 2-day event. Boxing, music, food. It says special celebrity guest. I guess we'll talk to Ms. Tapia about that.
Yeah, she's got some celebrities coming in, so I don't know who they are. I spoke with her yesterday. regarding the amateur card, and but there are some celebrities scheduled to come in for that event.
Awesome. And also, vendors will be there. We'll have a car show, a bike run.
Yeah, bike run, car show. I think they're gonna have activities for the kids, jumping balloons and things of that nature. So,
and folks, tickets prices starting at $15 for adults, $5 for kids under 12, and free admission for kids 3 and under. Gates will open at 11 a.m. both days. And for more information, you can call Mr. JC. We will have Teresa Tapia next week on the show here.
On the 5th, yes.
It'll be awesome to have her. And we'll talk a little bit about Johnny Tapia, Mi Vida Loca, great fighter.
Yeah.
But for more information on the Southwest Explosion, ladies and gentlemen, it is the first annual
yes,
Boxing Invitational. You can go to www.vitospeedwaypark.com to get more information. But it's a huge 2-day show. The Johnny Tapia Southwest Explosion, and it's on my YouTube. You'll have the flyer right there. And again, if you want more info, tune in next week. If you want to match your kids, they call what again, JC?
915-253-8558. I'm still taking names, still early, and it promises to be a good show. And the Vado Racetrack Speedway is right off the freeway in Vado, so you don't have to go into the town. It's just right off the freeway.
Right off the freeway. And like I said, guys, support the track as well. Warriors Edge Boxing Gym is everywhere. We have our podcast now, and we're supporting the season for number 21, Brandon Shore, racing to victory in that number 21. And if you've never seen sprint car racing, folks, it is an adrenaline rush. Take the kids out there and support. And you know what's the beauty about that venue? It's inexpensive.
Yeah, it's family oriented.
Yeah,
exactly.
The drinks are inexpensive. The food is inexpensive. People are great there. They have good security
and it gets
out there.
packed. It gets packed.
Oh yeah, Friday and Saturday. There's racing this week as well there. Go out there, guys, and support this. It's been between Las Cruces and El Paso. Go out there and support this. The racing there. Go out there and support this. The people that say there's nothing to do, there's a lot of things to do in our region.
And it's family oriented. Like you said, there's good security. They have police out there, and
yeah,
it's safe. It's totally safe.
We go out there and support the race car. And like I said, they're also selling booths. We'll talk about Ms. Tapia about that. If you guys want to promote your business,
they can call me too, and I have a vendor form. I can email it to them, and you can fill it out. As a matter of fact, I would recommend that you do that and email it to Ms. Tapia or whoever her representative is.
Do you know the price on the booths?
It's if I'm not mistaken, it's $200 for 2 days.
Okay,
and then,
so it's $100 a day.
Yeah, and then from my understanding, I asked her because somebody came up with about the food handler's card, anything like that. I said, no, they're covered under the racetrack. Good. So they don't have to go out and get a special permit. It's covered under the racetrack.
And we'll have more info on that next week with Teresa Tapia.
And there's also VIP tables available. If you want to sponsor, I can email you that information.
Okay, good, folks.
For like VIP tables, I think you get a T-shirt if I'm according to the venue, whatever. So it promises to be a good show.
And we'll have a booth. Web Boxing Podcast 101 will be out there live. We'll have my team out there, and we'll have them display the race car, number 21 of Brandon Shore. So happens to be a big show, Southwest Explosion. With us today, we have JC Fernandez. He is the matchmaker for this great event for the amateur, but it's also promised to be a pro event as well. So
yes, we're going to have some local talent from the area. So
great.
That's to be announced later.
Great. JC, so tell us, do you have a favorite prize fighter?
You know what? I like two. I like Barreras and
Marco Antonio Barrera?
Yeah, I like. He's just tenacious fighter. Was a tenacious fighter when he was in his prime. You
think he was better than Eric Morales?
I like both.
They still hate each other.
Yeah, they still do. But they turned out some good battles, man. Some good.
So you like Barrera, right?
Yeah.
Who else is the other fighter?
Hatton, Ricky Hatton.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I liked him.
Any fighters that are currently fighting right now?
Triple G, I like him.
Triple G,
yeah.
Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah, I like him.
He's a good fighter, right?
He's a good fighter, yeah.
Do you think he beat Canelo the first fight?
I think so. I think so. I think so. I mean,
I think so too.
I think he fought him,
but he lost the second fight.
He lost. Yeah, he did, of course. But
do you think we'll ever see a third fight?
I don't know. Hopefully, it's in El Paso.
Well, we want to bring that pro to El Paso, right?
Yeah, we need some more fights out here, man. Promoters, if you're out there.
Last year we had some pro fights.
We had a lot, and this year we haven't had anything. It's been kind of dead, and I don't know what it is.
We had PBC out here. Kevin Alexander, that was last year.
Yeah, exactly. And
Victor Ortiz.
And we have. It's not like we don't have the fan base. We have a lot of fan base. We have Juarez. We have New Mexico. We have surrounding areas. I mean, we need some pro fights in El Paso. And
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to bring that one to Vado, but we need some major fights
Yeah,
in
exactly,
El Paso.
so-
Right, and it is a boxing, and we have the venues for it, and we have the pockets for it.
yeah, I
Going
mean,
back to the pockets, right? And you were part of the pro as a timekeeper in the pro fights, right?
yes, I've been working the last fights that we had in El Paso last year. So
And there's a lot of things behind the scenes that people don't understand.
yeah,
right?
I mean, it's just the negotiations.
So can I
would
ask
imagine.
you, why do you think that? I mean, we're not at the pinnacle of getting fights like that. I mean, San Antonio is, because, of course, I know the tourists, they have the Riverwalk, they can attract more people. Do you think it's because we're in the way tip of nowhere?
It could be. I mean, it could be the location, the geographical area. Because San Antonio, I tell you, I checked the schedule for the boxing commission schedule for the fights, and every week, every month, San Antonio has a show. Dallas, Odessa,
Pro.
yeah,
Yeah.
bro.
Do you know Golden Eagle Promotions?
Yes, they're from El Paso.
Yeah,
They're local.
Tony, man,
Tony
good friend of
Aguilar,
mine.
yeah.
Shout
I
out to
know.
him. And he's out Dallas,
Yeah, he's out there.
Lubbock, Amarillo,
Yeah.
not El Paso.
I don't know what.
What's the venues, and speaking with him, and I'm going to have him on my show in the near future. He's just been so busy, and it's just so expensive. JC,
It's
I'm
just-
a promoter, and
Exactly.
I've done the Clash of the Titans, and it's been very successful. We brought in Mikey Garcia. I mean, I think the event that we have at Warriors Edge and the Clash of the Titans, in association with the El Paso County Sheriff's Office committee. We have drawn the most people for any amateur show. Amateur. Mikey said, damn, this is an amateur show? We've had 4,200 people in one of the shows.
No, if you go in there, you think it's a pro fight.
Yeah.
And I've been there supporting you
Thank
with
you.
my athletes.
Thank you.
In the past, I didn't do it last year because they weren't ready.
Yeah, but how did the athletes feel?
You know, like
It's like a
dang,
pro
you know,
event.
yeah, exactly.
Walk
It's
in,
very
we-
successful,
very
very
successful.
very well organized. You know, and
Yeah,
and
because it takes us
lot.
a year to organize
It takes
this.
a lot. Exactly. You
So,
need a year to
You know,
plan.
I took a year off.
Yeah.
So we announced it last time that it was going to be September 2020. It's going to be the next one, Clash of the Titans number 11. But, I mean, we go out for 1 year and to help with the department and other sponsors and the family and the Warriors Edge family, we got to get sponsors, man, and it's very hard, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, man. And we get deals because we're a nonprofit organization as far as law enforcement. So we kind of piggybacked with them as well to get these great deals at the Coliseum, and it helped us a lot. But if a pro fighter like Tony a pro promoter wants to come in, these people charge them like crazy because everybody. I understand it's a business, but I mean, just to get probably the Don Haskins Center,
Oh,
it's
I can't
like
imagine.
12,000.
Yeah. Expensive.
Southwest University Park is ridiculous.
They had a fight out there, what, a year and a half
Jennifer
ago?
Hahn.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
I
ridiculous
worked
what
that
they
fight.
charge.
Yeah.
I mean, ridiculous. And we had a lot of people in that. It's just, again, the venues they're not just there. You know, they're there. I'm sorry, but it's just too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, if the venues would work with a promoter,
They don't.
you know, if they would work and put a show there, it's a win-win situation
For
for everybody
everybody.
because they're going to have profits from the vendors, the alcohol, the beverages, and you know, it's a win-win situation for everybody. So they need to give a little bit, I think.
I think so. And I'm not saying they don't.
They
Who
don't.
knows what happens? But
Yeah.
in talking to these promoters, they got to meet in the middle, man. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Because
Yeah.
you got to remember the promoter, the guys that make the fight are the fighters.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to pay them well.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you've got some talent out there. We just have to showcase it. And if you bring the right kind of people, you're going to bring in the crowd.
Exactly. But it'll be nice to see a fight coming up here, man. You know,
I'm looking forward to it. I check it
the
every day.
the last one at the Sumble was Chavez against Andy Lee.
Chavez was at the Don
Andy Lee.
Haskins.
Oh, the last one was Chavez against the guy from Chihuahua.
Yeah, the Don Haskins.
What was his name?
I forgot, but I worked that.
Yeah,
one.
that was Showtime.
Yeah.
It was PVC.
Yeah.
It was an all-day affair of
Yeah,
boxing.
I had to work from 3 to
Yeah.
11.
The PVC fights.
Yeah, I had
and
the
then
non-televised,
Showtime.
yeah, and then the
And
televised.
It
yeah.
was awesome, man. It was a great
And then
fight.
November of last year, they had
was
Jennifer Hahn. Yeah,
Jennifer Hahn, and then we had Devon Alexander on
exactly. Yeah,
that. It was Devon Alexander.
and it
came
was
to
a
the gym.
it was a televised event
It
too.
was a televised by PVC, TG Promotions or something like that. But ever since we haven't had one.
Yeah, exactly. So since then, last year November 3rd, as a matter of fact, we haven't had a show.
And you know what? We have heavy hitters here.
Yeah, we do have some good talent. I mean,
Or not just that. What I mean by heavy hitters, we have people in the behind the scenes that
Yeah.
can bring fights here.
Exactly. It's a boxing town. That's why we said that, and they know it.
Yeah. You know, one of my ideas was, in the corner of, where do we have the murals?
Downtown, no?
Yeah, what is it?
Macomb?
No, not Macomb's.
Yeah, I know. It's
is
downtown.
it Dyer or I don't know the cross streets. I had them, but they have the mural there, and one of my ideas was to put a show there to
That would be a
showcase
good
that
way to
mural.
background. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
an empty parking lot.
Yeah, that would be good.
I called 4 times to diverse parking. I think they own it. The realtor from that building, no phone call back.
Yeah.
I called 4 frickin' times. They don't care, man.
No, that's unfortunate.
And they're going to tear down that building or remodel it. I don't know what to call that hotel. They need to remodel it. It's pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
But once they remodel, they're probably going to paint over the history of boxing.
Yeah, and there's some good artwork
But
there.
don't you think it's a great idea to put a boxing show right there?
Exactly. I think it's a wonderful idea.
Right next to that mural.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
a parking area, a good smoker. I've tried, JC.
Well,
But it's hard, man.
it can be done. If you work with the city really well, and they could probably close off the streets and.
Yeah, but they'll probably charge us all kinds of permits.
Yeah, exactly.
You know that I was in San Diego not too long ago, and they had food vendors, and every vendor was different. Different foods, different flavors. Everybody was cool. Here's the same thing. And speaking of vendors, they just ask for so much stuff here, man.
Yeah,
and it's true. It's who you know here, man.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because they see a good event, and of course the dollar signs start popping up in their eyes. They're gonna want to take a bone and an arm and a leg.
Of course. And me as a promoter, I know that, man.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But JC, you know what? Anything else you want to add before we close the show tonight?
No, I just want to thank you and for the opportunity. Like I told you, I mean, you could have had anybody here, but I'm honored.
You were on the list.
I'm honored by you asking me to be here and
Good,
just come out and support the Southwest Explosion fighting on the 5th. It's going to be a good show. It promises to be very, very, very big in this area.
Good, man. And also, folks, and JC, thank you for being here, man. And we'll see you at the Southwest Explosion. And yeah, you say it's an honor to be, but it's an honor to have you, folk, man. It's an honor to have people like you. And this is why the podcast got invented and created, because we want to showcase people like you. You've been part of boxing. You might not be on that mural over there, but you've been part of boxing.
Yeah, thank you.
I've been part of boxing, and I know it's a cutthroat sport, business.
Yeah.
Because I've gone through some stuff because of boxing.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's taught us to be, and then people even told me that it's your violent nature, I guess. No, it's character. You build character in the sport, and you build up the kids.
Yeah, you know what? I also want to take the opportunity before we close off or whatever that I want to give a big pat on the back to all the coaches out there that start with the amateurs. Investing their time and effort away from their family to dedicate to the other kids.
Yeah, we have a lot of good coaches.
We have a lot of good coaches. They're the ones that need to be thanked. So if you see a coach at the gym, thank them for their time because they put a lot of work. This podcast, it's wonderful what you're doing. As far as I know, it's one of a kind.
It is one of a kind.
It is one of a kind. I've never heard of one till you started doing this. And good luck to you. And
Thank
I
you.
hope it
Appreciate
grows and it's gonna get bigger. I know you personally. And because of the way your work ethic, I know it's going to be a success.
Yeah, and I thank you for that, JC. And it is one of its kind, but it was to highlight people like the coaches, like you, Herman Delgado.
Yes, good friend, good person.
Joseph Sullivan.
Yes.
Mark Sandy at the Wolf's Den, his coaches as well. Ruben Garcia, El Señor Garcia. All the rec centers. I know Carolina Center, San Juan, the Tovars, all those coaches, man.
We have some in Las Cruces, Rick Vasquez
in Las Cruces. Yeah, about Bully Boxing from Roswell, New Mexico. Yeah. Anyone from Las Cruces else you want to recognize?
Just the people that...
What is it? Crosstown Boxing?
Crosstown Boxing. I think I spoke with them 2 days ago. Yeah, they're going to bring a team. Yeah.
Good, man, and they're obviously big supporters for us as well.
Yeah.
And we work very good with them as well.
Yeah, they're gonna bring about 15 fighters for the show. That's what they promised. So let's hope that But you know how the weigh-ins go. Sometimes they start some scratches and all that stuff. So hopefully we can get everybody.
And hopefully I get somebody from Las Cruces out here. I had Carrasco out here.
Yeah.
Lace him up, Carrasco, nice guy, and Ari Carrasco, which is at the training center right now. But
exactly.
Yeah, man, coaches, great job. And again, it's been an honor to have you. And thank you so much, JC, for what you've done and what you continue to do and your service at the Bureau of Prisons.
Oh, thank you.
And a shout out to all those men and women that work the walls.
Yeah, you know what? It's a 24-hour job. It's a hard work.
It's tough. It's tough work, man.
Yeah.
Working inside the prisons and our jails, men and women day in and day out do a good job, right?
Yeah, they keep the bad people in.
Of course. Folks, don't forget El Paso Strong Boxing Show this Saturday, August 31st, first bell at 2 o'clock. It's presented by Border Boxing Association. Weigh-ins are 8 a.m. First bell is at 2 p.m., and you can contact Mr. Jose Guerrero at 432-294-264 for pre-matches. And I think he's done them all, but hey, go to the weigh-ins, man, if you haven't been pre-matched. Again, it's going to be at 2011 Myrtle Avenue, Apollo Boxing Club. And I think there's already like 24 fights already matched. It's going to be a great day of boxing. Hey, man, if we don't go, then don't say that we don't. We got to, in order to support it, you got to go. Attend the shows as we get ready also for the big event. And before even the Southwest Explosion event, we got the second annual Bullies Against Bullying. And that's going to be at Roswell, New Mexico, at the Roswell Convention Center, September the 14th.
That's another good one there.
That's going to be another good one. It's even a car show and a carnival. September 12th through the 15th, that's going to be in Roswell, New Mexico. First bell is at 2 p.m. I do not have a phone number for them, but if you can go on my social media and contact through there, it's Bully Boxing. I believe they're even going to be here this Saturday.
They may, yeah.
They may. So, and again, they're real supporters from us as well. So, folks, as I sign off tonight, I just want to, again, just give a word out to bring awareness to violence, man. We're suffering our devastating mass shooting here in El Paso, something that's rocked our community. And then you look at the news, and there's still more violence. Like just 3 little girls that got shot to death in Juarez, Mexico, and it's crazy, man. There's so much violence out there, folks. Just be kind to one another, man.
Be aware of your surroundings wherever you go.
Yeah. So I just wanted to bring up to light that just stop the violence, man. If you're gonna do any type of violence, do it the right way, man. Boxing.
Get in the ring.
Yeah, get in the ring, folks. And just be kind to one another. And I just wanted to bring up to that and bring respect to all those people out there that are suffering something. But again, anything you do in life, folks, put God first. This has been our podcast. Have a great evening. We'll see you next week. Next Thursday will be Teresa Tapia, widow of Johnny Mi Vida Loca, talking about him, the life of her, but also the Southwest Explosion. Folks, have a great weekend. Enjoy the fights this weekend. God bless you.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.